Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is a beginner's guide to making some fab jewellery. So in this video I'm going to show you how to use open back bezels, closed back bezels as well when they've got a loop on that doesn't allow them to lay flat. I'm going to use some stickers, and all these stickers are things that I've got free with different bits and pieces or I've purchased for other projects. Some dried flowers, because they can be a little bit difficult sometimes in resin if you're not careful to make beautiful jewellery with. And also I'm going to be using J. Dixon's amazing mica powders and their resin colorants. And the great thing about it is whenever they send you mica powders or anything like that, they also send you a little spoon in them, so you can use that, get the mica powders out. It's great. And these colours are beautiful colours as well. J. Dixon's resin kits, they've just sent it to me. And it comes with a real nice amount of resin. It comes with a scraper if you want to make picture pours and things like that. It also comes with his own silicone mould, so you can have a little practice. And this is a chest mould. The scrapers as well for mixing, and these are brilliant. The best I've ever used. I try and use them all the time now. Gloves, silicone measuring jugs, which are an absolute must, and the measurements on these are really, really accurate. A little silicone mat to work on. Everything that you really need apart from your own mask, which is absolutely a great price, because don't forget it's also ×3 UV protection, resistant to yellowing, no VOCs, non-toxic, low odour, crystal clear, which we do know it is definitely crystal clear, self-degassing, self-levelling, and a high gloss finish. Before I start making jewellery with open back bezels, what I always do is I set them up and put them on a piece of board, because I like to do several projects when I'm working with resin. I don't like just to do one project, and I want to be able to move it out of the way of my regular working area. So I'm going to put my pieces onto here so that when I've got them all done, I can move them out of the way and I can carry on working on something else. If you do them directly onto the piece of mat that you're working on, then what'll happen is it's really difficult to move that out of the way without it making a mess or you spilling and ruining the design. I will use sometimes double-sided sticky tape, or other times I will use damming tape, depending on what I'm using. But with these open back bezels, this damming tape works really well. It has improved so much over the last few years. All you need to do is open a bit like that, cut off what you feel you need, and then place your pieces onto the dam tape. Sounds like I'm saying the damn tape. Such naughty tape. Damn it. I will link everything that I used today in the description below. Don't worry. So if you want to get hold of it, then you can. I give that a really good push down. And then what I do to ensure that is fully down and stuck, because sometimes you will get leaks. It's inevitable. What you can do is you can turn this upside down. Try not to get it to stick to everywhere else. And just run your finger around it completely to ensure that you've got as good a grip to that adhesive as you could possibly get. I also sometimes use a little rolling pin to go over them to make sure they're down, or a pencil or something. When you've got something like this with a loop on like that, that is not sitting level. And that can be a real nuisance, because what you'll find is the resin will naturally obviously want to find its own level, and it will just run over the edge and you won't get a nice finish to it. So what I do is I use a lollipop stick, and I've found that these lollipop sticks make that really, really level, and it's brilliant. So that's all you need, just a lollipop stick. If you're doing more than one, just line them up on it. If not, like me, I'm just going to break that off so it's not taking up too much room. And there we go. We've got that all nice and level, ready to pour. And the same thing with your moulds. If you're making jewellery in moulds, then ensure that your moulds are clean. Now, I do keep my moulds in bags, and I spray them with mould release before I seal them. But this one I've used recently and I haven't had a chance to clean it. If you've not got a chance to clean it and there are bits in it, just use some masking tape and go round and get all your little bits out, so that it's nice and clean and you've not got anything in there that's contaminating. And what you'll find is even glitter and things will stick to the masking tape, or painter's tape as it's called in some places. Prep work is really important if you want to get some great results with your final pieces of jewellery. I've got all my resin mixed up now and I've put some glitter in this. I've used the microfine glitter here because it doesn't sink in and it goes really well and it helps to colour the actual resin, so it looks really, really nice. And what I would suggest is that you use something to put the resin in with. As you can see, I'm using this lollipop stick because you've got a lot more control then, and you're not likely to over pour it and pour it all over the edge of the bezels. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. If you'd like to become a member, then the link for that is in the description below. It gives you access to a lot of additional perks, including a series that we did recently on how to set up your own small business and sell your arts and crafts, which is really popular. So this is the mica powder that I'm using from J Diction. It's the gold one, and I have to say it's a beautiful colour. And again, when you're putting it into bezels, even the closed back bezels, make sure you don't over pour it or put too much in so it slips over the edge. Now I'm filling the mould up with some clear resin because I want this to cure up before I put the stickers on, because it just makes life a lot easier. And if you'd like to say thank you for any of my videos and help support this channel, it's really appreciated. And you get your name on my coffee board. The link to buy me a coffee is in the description below, along with the link to everything that I've used today. So I'm now adding flowers. First I add the leaves because I like looking at leaves with the flowers, and I push those down as you can see here and try and dislodge any bubbles that maybe get trapped under there. Then I go in and add the third one, and that allows it to have a much finished look. And with these colours, these transparent colours, you only need, as you saw there, a really tiny drop, because look how beautiful this red has come. Now the more you add, the more opaque it gets. Now I find with the blue you do need to add just a little bit more, so I add 100% more, a whole nother drop. So there's 2 drops in this. So what I'm doing is I'm blending these in, so I'm going to use some red and some of the blue of the transparent pigment. Oh, just to let you know, I do have another arts and crafts channel that's all about different crafting other than resin that I do, so please feel free to check that out. I will link it in the card at the top of this at the end. So I'm now using the resin to just blend in and pour in to some of these. I will add stickers to these as well, and then go over it with your long neck lighter, never a torch because you're going to go over it with silicone mould and it could burn the mould. And then I let this stage cure up. Well, these jewellery pieces have all cured up nicely now, and I'm going to do the next step to them. And the great thing about this J Diction resin is not only can you use it as a great art resin like I have here, but you can also use it as a great doming resin. I fortunately, as you can see, didn't get any leaks, and I think that is probably a first for me. So I think a big round of applause I give myself there. But before I go ahead and dome these, I am going to put some stickers on them. But obviously I'm not going to put stickers on the one with the flower in. I'm just going to dome that one. I've never used these butterfly stickers before. They were sent to me free with something. I ordered something and these come as a freebie. So I don't know how they're going to work out or what they're going to look like in there, but they stick quite nicely to the resin. So there's a couple of butterflies on there. Now I don't know if this is going to go transparent or how that's going to look, but that's stuck on there nicely. And the great thing is they're the same colour both sides, which I think is really useful, because if you put them on in the middle there like that, not that I'm very good at putting things on straight and level, then what you'll get is you'll get the same look each side. And I've also got these flower stickers as well, but you can make any stickers that you like. I quite like this multicoloured one that I did with the transparent liquid. So I'm going to try and put a butterfly on there and see how they come out. And on this little heart, what I'm going to do is stick on a couple of little glitter stars and also a few little gems. So how I'm going to stick those on is by using some gold leaf glue, just a tiny little dab of it. I'm going to put that on using my trusty micro brushes, and wherever I put that, that is where, for instance, some little gems will sit, or some of the glitter. And the reason I'm putting it on like this is so it doesn't move about, and also it won't create any additional bubbles or anything like that inside it. And I can do this both sides if I want to, but I'm probably only going to dome one side of this so it lays flush on anybody that's wearing it. All I have to do is wait for that to dry. Once it's dry, it goes transparent, but you can still see it well enough to be able to add tough stuff to it. Well, that's all nice and dry now, that glue. So I just need to go around and push on some of these little gems, and they will stick on there lovely. I'm not going to do all the same size. Once they're stuck on there, that's it. They're not going to move around, they're not going to float about, and they're not going to cause me any problems when I go to add the additional resin. And the same thing for the stars. I just need to pop them on wherever that glue is, and then they'll be on there permanently, and they're not going to move off anywhere. So there's lots of different ways that you can make some great jewellery. And even though that glue's gone transparent, you can still see it enough to be able to put your pieces on it. There we go. So I'm just going to go around and make sure that they're all stuck on there nicely. I can either use my finger or I can use the end of this. So all I need to do now is go ahead and dome these, and then I'll show you what they look like after they've been domed. I'm ready to dome this, and I find that when I dome, if I use a pipette, it comes out so much easier, and I find as well I have far more control, and I don't over dome and get it running all down the edges. And what you can do is you can just add bits as and when you need to add the bits. Now I like to dome when it's using a silicone mold while they're still in the mold, because again, you've got that extra edge and you've got that extra control. But make sure you get round the back of each one of those bits. And the same for this. Now please, if you're enjoying this video and you found it useful, please boot that like button. It really does help, and hit that subscribe button, because that way you're not going to miss out on any more of my videos. So when you're doming the heart or open back bezels like this, make sure that you covered all the bits that you need to cover. And again, with the pipette, you can just push it right to the very edge of the piece and you get a great result. Again, pop any stray bubbles and then leave this overnight to cure before you demold it. Well, these have all cured up now and they're ready to take off and out of the molds, and the stickers have come out really well. So I'm going to just quickly demold these. Oh look, a bit of overpour and flashing on that one. Never mind. Oh, it's come off easy. So when you're taking these off like this, it should just peel off nice and easy. And if it leaves a little bit of residue on the back, fortunately these ones haven't, but if it does, then you can take that off really easily, or just give it a bit of a clean up and you can dome straight over it. Now, what happened was last night it turned really, really cold and I forgot to put the heater on in the room. And so it went down to about -4 in here. And as you can see on the top of that one, there's a little bit of rippling. And that's because there was a temperature fluctuation while this was curing. But I don't think it's ruined the piece. It does still look quite pretty. And I like the way that the stars and the gems have come out in that. Again, for the flowers, they've come out quite pretty. And the back of that looks really nice too. But they have got a little dome on them. I particularly like that one. I just think it's really, really pretty. I love the way the glitters come out on it and how it looked really both sides. Look how sparkly it is. And it's easy to use stickers in there. It's a shame these butterfly ones have got the outline on them. But, you know, there we go. That's one of those things. I like the little heart stickers that I put in there as well. Little angels. Ooh. Easy to make, and overall, they're a success, I would say. So that's just a few examples of the types of jewellery that you can make. I mean, you can make earrings, you can make bangles, you can make all sorts of things. Really quite simple, great little project. And even for a complete beginner, then you're not going to find any of these difficult. Just pop a little chain on or some clasps, and I have got a video showing how to do that I'll link at the end of this one. So if you're not sure or want some ideas on how to put your jewellery together, check out that video. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this video or you've found it useful. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my videos and help keep this channel going, then the link for that is in the description below as well, along with the links for everything that I've used today. Take care, enjoy your resin, bye.